Hey everyone, so I've got two videos to show you guys today, and I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I have a bit of a controversial take on these two videos because the response that I've seen from everybody regarding these videos is super positive. Obviously, these are people on the left thinking that, oh, this is such a big win, and well, I'll just play the videos for you guys, and then we'll come back and talk about them and why I feel like not the biggest wins.
Please.
Mr. President, after 3.5 years, do you regret at all the lying you've done to the American people? On
All the
everything?
what?
All the lying, all the dishonesties.
That who has done?
You have done. Tens of
No, go
thousands.
ahead, please. Please.
All right, and so if you guys couldn't hear it there, he asked, "Do you regret all the lying that you've done?" And Trump goes, "What did you say?" And he's like, "All the lying that you've done." That was his question. And like, here's my problem with this: it is completely lacking in any sort of substance. I mean, this is a chance. I mean, I don't know if this guy is regularly interviewing for Donald Trump, if he regularly is one of the reporters. I feel like I've seen him before. But still, regardless, you only get so many questions you can ask the president. And if you're gonna do something like this, if you're gonna take this shot, like ask about a specific lie. Like ask about something that he's actually said. Be like, hey, one of your big campaign promises was ending, never ending wars. You've said this repeatedly, both while you were running and, as you've been president. Why haven't you done that? Were you lying? Why did you lie about the coronavirus and saying, one, that it's not a big deal and talking about masks and all loads of lies regarding the coronavirus? And like, I mean, as the guy pointed out, there are tons of lies. But just saying, oh, do you regret all the lying you've done? What does that do? What is the win from that? What is the takeaway from that? It doesn't catch him out in anything. People watching that who like support Donald Trump, they're just gonna be like, oh, this is just fake news or whatever. So it's like you gotta actually bring up two contradictory things that he said for that to have any sort of meaning. But I'm serious. Like everyone, even people that I really like I saw Anna Kasparian was talking about this, and she was like, oh, this was such a big win, like because it like stood up to Trump. And it's like I get it. Like if you're gonna I don't think that you like this whole like thing where people care about decorum and everything. I don't think that that's super important. But it's like if you're gonna do that, go all in and ask about something with a substantive question. Like you can't just do this whole like. It didn't work for me. And so here is the other clip, and similar problems with it.
President, thank you so much. Two questions, if you don't mind, Mr. President. First of all, Kamala Harris, you've been very blunt about how you feel about her mean, nasty, mad woman. Biden now saying...
No, I haven't been blunt. I said she treated Joe Biden worse than anybody else. I watched those debates. They were very boring, but they were debates nevertheless. And I watched, pretty good parts of them. And she treated Biden worse than anybody else by far. There was nobody, including Pocahontas, nobody treated Biden so badly as Kamala.
Well, let me ask you this then. Do you have an issue with a strong woman of color being in this presidential race?
None whatsoever.
You don't see her as a threat?
As you know, none whatsoever. No.
And so, I mean, my problem with this is, so if you guys couldn't hear the question, she said, do you have an issue with a strong woman of color being in this race? And it's just like, he goes, no, I don't have an issue with that. And it's like, and this is the same thing. I've seen the same exact reaction where people are super, oh my gosh, yes, this is so good. I'm so glad that we finally cornered him on this. But it's just like, I mean, when you play this game, that's just a lack of substance. And it's just, like who can who's just better at rhetoric just in general. Like we don't care about like actual issues if we're just doing, who can one up who with like the one-liners and the little zingers and everything. I mean, he just as easily could have said like, oh, like do you feel like threatened by, a strong woman of color being in this race? He's like, well, I feel a lot more threatened now that it's not just Sleepy Joe on the ticket or something like that. Just something where he like, he could have taken a shot back. Because we're not talking about actual issues here. We're just like, and this is like, I mean, even if you do care about all this like representation and everything, that's not the way that you bring it up, because it's like, what is gain from that question? And just the reason that I have such a big problem with this is there is a finite amount of questions you get at these press conferences, and I get it that Trump is probably just doesn't answer all of them super straightforward. I get that that's probably an issue, but it's like if you're going to ask these questions, make them hit. If you're gonna play the whole one-liner zinger game, come at it from a stronger point than like, are you threatened by a strong woman of color being in the race? It's just like, who does that win to your side? Because that should be the ultimate goal, to persuade more people to your side, not to win points with people who already agree with you. And that doesn't win any points with anyone. Neither does the thing about the lying. If you want to talk about lying, talk about specific lies that he's done. But this, I just felt like it was ineffective, and it just really bugged me because there's we only have so much time, and that's anyway. So anyway, I just felt like my take on these two questions. I just saw so many people talking about how great this was, and I was like, no, that's it's a waste. It's a waste of a good opportunity. But anyway, if you disagree with anything I said in this video, and there's a good chance you do because I know a lot of people actually like these questions, please leave a comment down below. But if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe, and have a great